Rack and ping. Oh, lazy. Okay, dabbing. Bang the camera. Oh, not having it fucked up anyway. Ah, damn it. Ooh. Screwed the pooch there. Okay, pushing the roll. Again. Remember, go right, go right. You got this. You've done this before. No shortcuts. Ah, dab. That's it. I've had it over a year. Last year. First try. amazing. Ow. Put it into the dirt can. Wonderful. Another day in the backyard trails. A better day than yesterday. So warning events, trigger warnings, mental illness, self-harm we'll call it. Yesterday was not a good day of the ride. I ended up in the woods yesterday in the backyard trails at one point, standing here trying to dig myself out of the hole and stop spiraling because my depression kicked into gear, caused by a few factors I'm not going to elaborate on. But it brings home this whole component of things that are being discussed currently in Canada. In Canada, there has been talk about the issue of maid medical assistants dying and mental illness and how they don't want to make it easier. Well, to be honest, great we're talking about it, but there's far more about this that is concerning. Using myself as an example. When you get hit, when I got hit by that driver, the physical trauma caused by that did harm to my self-esteem and self-worth. 1 second, Trey. Self-esteem, self-worth. However, which is, in some ways, it's hard to fight, you know, again, and to fight your self-esteem and self-worth. However, talk of made and its effect around this and mental illness avoids other factors that cause people to go down that path. And it's not just your self-worth, what you feel about part of that. So when we discuss self-worth and how your self-esteem and how you think and feel about yourself or myself, it comes from two parts. One is the usual talking point, yourself. What you do to yourself for yourself to make yourself feel better. But the other side of the part of the problem is no one discusses what other groups, organizations, and agencies do in their actions and what they say that causes a victim, in my case, a victim of a crime, self-worth and self-esteem to get worse. So in my case, December, now Rule 32, the evil overlord list, don't shoot the messenger. I'm not shooting the messenger. My lawyer was the messenger, and he brought me a message that transferred a message to me from the axis of evil, we'll call it, and who told me that because I didn't fight hard enough to get back in the military before I was hit, I have no value. Therefore, I'm a worthless person. That means that, according to them, that if I decided to disappear or didn't survive, my worthlessness would mean that I had no value, no worth to anybody else in society, family, friends, everything. Well, let's think about that for a second. You're telling someone who's already having self-esteem issues and self-worth issues for being hit by a car that they're actually, according to you, absolutely worthless as a human being. Do you not think for 1 second that is pushing someone's self-worth even lower than it already is? And it terrifies me because of the fact, well, I'm currently doing okay. There's days where I feel like I'm drowning, trying not to keep my self-esteem, self-worth higher. Yet, so far, other than some family and a handful of friends, I'm on my own. I know it's a process. I get that. However, me standing in the woods, questioning if I should just simply disappear into the woods somewhere from everybody on the planet's life because I am so worthless as a human being, because I didn't try hard enough. How are we helping? How is this helping me? Okay, I mean, I can't wrap my head around the idea that telling someone who's trying to move on and you want them to do better, the best you can do to support them is to tell them they have no value and are worthless as a human being. Let's face it, when you tell someone they have no worth, that means they're worthless. And it boggles my mind that this is happening. And I question it. Yesterday I was thinking about it, and why I got so depressed was because, let's face reality here, how many people over the last years and decades, because of this action from insurance companies, for example, has pushed that a person to that point where they do take that choice of self-harm and ending their pain, and the family loses, or their friends lose that person in their life because you made them feel worthless. Now, I'm not planning to, I do not seek to jump in front of a freight train. But let's think about that for a second. Self-worth is part of the package when we're trying to keep people healthy, with the mental illness. You're trying to help them. You're trying to prevent them from either not just staying roughly in a place where they can function, but even more importantly, so that they don't get worse. Well, I got news, and self-esteem and self-worth is part of that equation. But I mean, let's face reality here, and I'm going to cut this right now and make it very short and to the point. Reality is, insurance companies don't want that. Because reality is, when they get rid of people by telling them they're worthless stuff and they quit or take their lives, it's cheaper. It saves money. And shareholders get more money. Company makes more money. So, and that's what terrifies me about this part that no one discusses. Let's face reality here. This is to me, a form of pushing people down that pathway to self-harm, turn to drugs and alcohol, or potentially end their pain, or, they've decided to tap out of life, which is scary. I'm scared because, I mean, I'm doing okay to a point, but I don't know how much I can take. I mean, I don't have a TARDIS. I cannot jump into the future. But I'm just sharing this because I think it's important that we don't talk about this crap, about this component. Like, great, we're talking about MAID and mental illness and how we don't want it easier for people who are mentally ill to take that option, or unless they actually do want it. But we do not. But we need to address the whole package, because let's face reality. Telling people they're absolutely worthless and no value, they're not trying hard, is not making them better people, making them better so that they can, go out. Because when you feel worthless, you don't do anything. You don't try. Or you don't do anything you can to be functional, as we call functional. So, that's it. I'm going to cut this off because I'm better today. I do not want to get depressed later today. But I figure this is a better way than me trying to type this out for, an hour and a half right? So, just remember, self-esteem of yourself and your friends is important to keep them so that they can at least, because if you don't feel and let them know that you value them as part of the world that you are, them being part of your world or whatever, because you know what, that alone might be just enough to help them not spiral down a hole that leads to bad choices. Trust me, I've spiraled, but sometimes it's just that person who makes you feel like you're important to their life, even if they're just your buddy, riding buddy, your weightlifting buddy, your shooting buddy, whatever. That might be just enough to help them keep moving along and not spiral and get worse. Just remember, what we do to each other to help around each other and how we treat those who are having a hard time has a far greater effect on everything than simply going to see a counselor every 3 weeks for talk therapy. Okay? That's reality. Not saying counseling and therapy is good or bad, but I'm just saying, because let's face reality, during the rest of the time you don't see somebody. You have only your friends and family to rely on. And that has far greater impact at the end of the week than just whether you saw the counselor for an hour. Okay? Just remember, be kind to each other. Okay, let's go back to riding.